Well, as you know, the world has come to understand the power of social media as a driving force behind the way for democratic reforms and economic opportunities. Well, one member of Kuwait's royal family is using media and his voice to push for peaceful change across the region. But he has been accused of having a hidden agenda and says forces have tried to muzzle him.
Long before democracy-starved protesters took to the streets in Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya, Kuwaiti Sheikh Fahad al-Salem says he was delivering an unpopular message to leaders across the Middle East and North Africa.
I said, please listen to the people. Listen to the people on the streets. Don't listen to people that want you to be happy.
The reaction?
He's crazy.
They were saying this about you?
Yeah, about me.
But many of those leaders are now paying attention.
If we don't start the change in a peaceful way, in a very fast movement now, we'll have chaos.
The Kuwaiti sheikh, who sits atop a media empire and was once his country's Minister of Agriculture, has found a vehicle for his message, the Center for Dialogue Among Civilizations and Defense of Liberty. It's a humanitarian organization pushing for peaceful change across the region before it's forced by violence. We sat down with Fahad during a recent visit to Washington, where he had strong words for President Obama's Libya strategy.
You were too late with Libya.
And not just President Obama, he said. The U.S. and other countries should have pushed Gaddafi harder to make real political changes years ago, when Libya pledged to abandon terrorism and paid compensation for the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103. His message now?
Please don't be late with the other remaining countries in the Middle East.
Fahad, third in line to the Kuwaiti throne, has ruffled feathers in his own country, pushing for more freedoms and denouncing corruption.
You get more credibility if you begin with your own house.
Even though Kuwait is a constitutional monarchy and has greater political freedoms than some of its neighbors, its cabinet resigned recently in the wake of regional turmoil.
Will people rise up in Kuwait like we've seen in other places?
If the way of dealing does not change, there is a higher percentage of people going to the streets.
So how did this wealthy royal find his voice? He points back to late 1990, when he was taken as a prisoner of war by Iraq and held for 7 months.
Either you come back to your country broken, or you come back to for your country more courage to implement what you believe in. And I think I got the second one.
More courage.
More courage.
Fahad admits that this push for democracy is not without risks, that new leaders may be more dangerous than the ones forced out. But the process of giving people control over their future is what's important. And if you demand democracy, he says, you must bear the results.